Syracuse has been up and down. They're at 12th right now. Boston College fell out of the rankings. They're back in this week at number 24. Digger, let's talk about the game we're about to see. UConn has been very impressive. They're a Final Four candidate. St. John's has been a huge disappointment here in the Northeast. A lot of talk about why they are down. Ryan Mahoney's job could be in jeopardy. The Red Storm is not playing up to expectations. Then against Louisville, a team that has been ranked, they seem to pull it all together. Why?
Well, confidence factor builds up. Louisville is not really a physical team up front, and playing in the Garden, St. John's always gets fired up playing at home. But tonight, I really think, Gary, if they want to compete against UConn, Mo Brown has got to put himself in a position to drive it against the press, and St. John's has to do a real good job of getting back quick on defense so that Connecticut can't get those quick breakaway scores. Okay, and there will be a little bit of maybe some Red Storm backers in the Hartford Civic Center as UConn plays just a few minutes from now. Before we get you out there to see how we take it to UConn and St. John's next.
Get your attention. Wednesday night basketball continues from the arena in the mall in Connecticut, the Hartford Civic Center, where Felipe Lopez, the high-profile performer in the Big East, takes on the big dog of the conference, Ray Allen and the Huskies. Top 10 all year, ranked 5th. The UConn Huskies riding a 13-game winning streak tonight at home to take on the improving Red Storm of St. John's. So welcome inside the Civic Center. The Big East this year has lived up to the preseason hype of being back. The conference has 4 teams in the top 12, topped by these UConn Huskies, who beat the second-ranked Big East team, Villanova, last Tuesday. Georgetown, you saw on Big Monday, win at Notre Dame. Syracuse lost last night to West Virginia. Boston College also ranked at number 24. Bill Rafferty, isn't that your name?
That's all right.
Listen to me, I'm talking like the people here. You know, Billy, we talk about UConn and Ray Allen, but now some other people are contributing for Jim Calhoun.
Well, Kirk King gives him an inside influence now, a guy who can dominate down on the block. 19 for 19. It's utterly incredible. And he does take some 10, 12-foot shots, bank shot. He also runs the floor and can finish beautifully.
There's been a lot of pressure on Felipe Lopez. Maybe he's feeling some of it. He's still averaging about 17 points a game, but St. John's getting other contributors.
Well, Zendon Hamilton has stepped up. Rebounding, he's quite a force. Rowan Barrett outside has been able to knock down jump shots. Look at the field goal percentage. It's extraordinary. And you're right. Felipe Lopez, he's a terrific basketball player. Maybe these two will get him to relax and give UConn all they can handle this evening.
Well, this is a guy who's all you can handle. Ray Allen. He and the UConn Huskies take on the St. John's Redmen. The Huskies try to keep their great Big East season going. They opened up undefeated through 13 games last year. How long will it go on this year? The Candyman and the Huskies take on St. John's when you come back to Hartford. Hartford Huskies and the Red Storm. For Brian Mahoney's team, Mo Brown inserted at the point guard 3 games ago. One of the reasons this team is playing better. Watch the senior as the floor general for St. John's. Connecticut coach Jim Calhoun, 204 wins in 10 seasons. Like to get his center Travis Knight going a little bit more. Travis has struggled, just 16 points in his last 4 games, but he's still rebounding effectively. We mentioned in the open, Kirk King has hit his last 19 shots. The Big East Player of the Week, our Pizza Hut Player of the Week, as you saw earlier in our doubleheader tonight. The record is 25 consecutive makes, so we'll keep an eye on that as the night goes on. St. John's in the red, tap to UConn, and right away, it's Ray.
With a spin. The Johnnies were trying to get set up in their Minuteman. Unfortunately, he's so explosive.
Early lead for this UConn team that can hurt you so many ways. Half court, 3/4 court, and full court. Here's Lopez.
Take good shots, the key. Don't rush.
Tied up, nearly turned it over. The point guard, Mo Brown, saves it. Nice spin inside. Hamilton bending like a pretzel. Gets a second try. And the first foul of the game is on Kirk King.
Zendon has really become a force. I mean, just the first year, I thought he was a small forward with his game. You know, 6'10", but shot it on the side. It's just a little more aggressive as you look at these numbers. He has just stepped up magnificently. If he got 15 tonight, they might be in clover off the glass.
Zendon Hamilton, the sophomore, 6'11", 225 pounds, has added some muscle to that frame as well. First points of the night for the Redmen, and for a big man, a good shooting touch. In addition to those numbers, Bill, 79% free throw shooting.
Solid. And the big thing, not only must he control the glass, but if they go 1-3-1 trap, which was effective against Louisville, he's got to make sure he reacts and cleans the glass, or any cross-court passes, he's got to move.
St. John's won its last game out. Madison Square Garden on Saturday beat Louisville 86-64. And boy, if there was any team that needed a good win on its home floor, it was Brian Mahoney's team.
And the Minuteman there by St. John's, Rowan Barrett stepping up a little bit. Good post defense.
Shot clock down to 13 as Daron Sheffer, the UConn point guard, sets it.
And this is their normal run. A little post up on Mole and a screen down.
Allen with 5 to shoot. Watched by Barrett.
Oh, goodness. You holler help if you're Barrett. Here goes that 2-2-1. St. John's, on occasion, can attack, but basically the 2-2-1's more of a passive defense, Mike.
Here's Mo Brown working in the backcourt with Rowan Barrett. Barrett coming off a 32-point effort against Louisville.
And Mo Brown, the difference, I think, in this club. He's been sound, run the club, not made mistakes.
Lopez feeds Hamilton. Backs in Travis Knight.
Tough shot. See, now that's not going to help you.
Rudy Johnson all over the rebound, and here come the Huskies, the lead by 3.
To become a good player, you got to admit defeat once in a while. Kick it out, let somebody else take a shot.
Johnson to Kane. He's now 20 for his last 20 attempts.
You going to count that one?
There have been a lot like that.
He's had a few in there, but we showed on the open a couple of, at least one jumper. When you gamble against this club, they punish.
Lopez, Sheffer, and Lopez matched up here in the early going. Barrett trying to shoot 3. Short. 2 Red Storm players on the rebound. Out free is Rudy Johnson.
Good reaction. Good reaction by Barrett. Even that pass is an All-American pass. The lob, so it's catchable and you can run under it.
Allen does it all.
This is the one. Now you step up defensively, but the top side doesn't get down. Now, if you're going to pressure as they will with the 1-3-1, see, Zenden got into the picture late. The weak side forward was high. They stretch you out. He's got to react and counter with a slide.
Rudy Johnson adds 69% to those numbers for the 50-year senior.
Rudy Johnson has more L's than I do. Ailments, I should say, in his career. Shoulder, arm. If it wasn't his arm, it was his elbow. Just amazing. Great to see him, 50-year guy, and now understands totally what he has to do to contribute.
Missed that first year with the right knee and shoulder surgery. Makes both free throws there. Huskies very quickly out to a 7-point lead.
And they front for the first time. No 2-2-1 now. Straight up man-to-man.
Mo Brown. Watched by Johnson. Interesting defensive matchups here early.
Mike, they have great flexibility. You know, they come in with different guys. They put Ray at the small forward spot.
Brown off on the 3. Knight battles Minifield for the rebound, and it will stay with the Red Storm.
And you, as well as other things, Minifield now gives him a big body down there to bang around. He's had a presence since he's returned or started.
See the scores go by. Scores at 10, 30, and 50 after every hour, every night here on ESPN.
Little 2-3 on the inbounds.
Brown, 2, rebound, Sheffer, and here come the Huskies, up 7 already.
Now that's the spot you're going to get a shot, too. St. John's man-to-man has gotten thorough, much more effective. Talking to Alabama, said Brian's really worked on that end of the game with these guys. It's starting to show.
Sheffer, who can probably back Brown in, and a foul is called. Brown giving away some 7 inches to Sheffer.
A little nickel diver.
On the outside. Here is this great season, Bill, for UConn. 14-1. Their last loss to Iowa the day after Thanksgiving. Not just beating people, but blowing them out as Sheffer shoots 3. Rebounded by Barrett.
So to become a habit, your repetitions almost, right? They come out of the gate so strong. Tough look here.
15-0 last year. Rudy Johnson starts a 3-on-1. Allen has King and Knight.
Pretty.
21 straight field goal attempts made for Kirk King, and Brian Mahoney takes a quick 20-second timeout, 9-point lead.
The jump shot set that up. This is a great arena, by the way. I mean, on campus is phenomenal. They just get after it. Right here, Travis Knight, very smart. Got rid of it. Now, a lot of guys would have taken that, but he's so unselfish, plays within himself, but all because of the jumper now. The miscue, no balance, the ball fake, the defense freezes. King of the nets, Kurt. Now, that's interesting how he may be the slowest of all, and yet King, we're running the floor. Put Knight in there with him. We'll have a foot race.
You see the Johnnies drive for 5 and UConn 80% in the early going. King and Allen hooked up 4 different times in the last win for UConn on Saturday night against Providence. Another St. John's turnover. Here's Allen.
See, just first half against Villanova, he's had some great basketball, some open shots, obviously. But that's why he's going to be such a good pro. He makes open shots. The change look, the half-court trap caused the turnover.
Hamilton trying to create something for St. John's offensively. 0 for 5, couple of turnovers. Nothing has gone the way of the Red Storm.
You just got to take a deep breath and relax.
Lopez on Allen.
And they call a charge on Felipe. Not a bad idea, though, Mike. Go to the goal, see if you can get to the tin.
Official timeout. Basket does not count. Huskies by 11.
Games UMass without Marcus Camby trying to remain unbeaten and #1. Rhode Island's been right with them. But in the second half, they built the lead. Dante Bright hits that. Tyrone Weeks, one of those subbing for Camby, did a couple of free throws. And Digger, Seton Hall is up by 8.
I'll tell you, George Blaney will be the spoiler in the Big East this year.
Let's go back to Mike and Bill.
Gary and Digger, thank you. 11-point lead here for the Huskies. St. John's plays Seton Hall on Big Monday here on ESPN.
And, Mike, I was at Notre Dame. Digger is still the biggest thing in South Bend. And he's been telling me that. I saw it firsthand.
King lost it on the way. Travis Knight the rebound, and he'll go to the line. So Travis Knight trying to follow up and get on track offensively. And boy, the St. John's team just cannot get on track on either side right now.
Well, Lou Holtz was out of town, by the way. That's why Digger was big. But that time, some penetration. And you're right, you don't feed this team. They have a great ability to turn it. Turnovers, bad shots. UConn comes down with some counters.
So here's Travis Knight at the line. He'll get another one. 71% free throw shooter. 32 back to you is Tyrone Grant, freshman in for the Red Storm. Travis goes 0 for 2.
I'm sure Brian in the timeout said, look, just be patient, wait for a good one, don't rush things. And usually they really don't have a great inside game. The best thing you can do is do this, the penetration, and get a good, now that's a good look.
Allen pulls down the rebound, blows past Brown. Now resets the offense for Jim Calhoun's team. And that offense is a Sheffer 3.
They spread the floor. Incredible.
42% three-point shooter is Sheffer. 14-point UConn lead.
Pretty look. Got to make that.
Hamilton can't finish. Battling with Grant. Knight comes away. Here come the Huskies. 3-on-2. Allen all the way across the court. Roshmel Jones, the freshman, didn't take it. Allen will take it.
How unselfish are they?
Jones lost the handle inside. Couldn't get it to Allen. Back come the Red Storm. Barrett on Sheffer.
Pretty good counter, though. Get something off your D, turn it to a plus.
First field goal in 5 minutes and 40 seconds. 12-point Husky lead. Here's the freshman Jones again.
Those long ones can turn into fast breaks. Well, good counter here, balance-wise.
Brown pushing and trying 3. Woo.
How about his confidence, Mike?
He's confident out there. 50% three-point shooter, although not a lot of attempts. St. John's back within 10. Much-needed hoops on back-to-back trips.
Well, you want to force this club to play half-court offense. They're very good at it, but you don't want to give up those number opportunities to them.
Allen all the way.
The kids. What else you got, Ray? Show it all. Well, how many minutes we got left in this half?
A lot.
Oh, is he amazing. And comparing him to Jimmy Jackson with you today, I think he's better at the same time. And I happen to have a lot of... I just think he makes every open shot. Now, there are exceptions, obviously, to that, but he is a terrific open shooter, and what a nice release here by
Beautiful
Hamilton.
Left-handed shot by Zendon, and the lefty will go to the line.
Brian, that timeout got some good things going, but right here, the quick hitter, not bad for the 6'10" guy. The little reaction at the end here, takes the hit, keeps on ticking.
Hamilton goes to the line. Felipe Lopez sitting down along with Mo Brown. Derek Brown and Tariq Turner check in to join Hamilton.
McDonald's All-American, Felipe Lopez and Zendon Hamilton. And not the supporting maturity that Connecticut has when you come in. They have a hidden freshman program here at UConn. I mean, guys, if they make mistakes, they come out. It's a sheltered existence. There's not the pressure or stress that these two young guys had.
Also in the conference, 2 games in New Jersey tonight. Tight one at the rack in Temple in the A-10, welcoming Fordham to the conference. Derek Brown off the bench tries some instant offense, and coming off the bench, he's been instant offense the last 3 games. Ricky Moore, another freshman for the Huskies, 21 in the lineup, as well as Eric Hayward, 45.
Good pump fake.
Ruben Johnson can't get it to go, and the rebound. Bodies, 2 Husky bodies to the floor. I think Hayward caught one in the eye, and on the tie-up, it will go to St. John's. But Eric Hayward, the senior, I think, took a shot in the eye. Looks to be okay. You know, Bill, here's Felipe Lopez and some of the pressure on him. Quote from him earlier this season. He's got to find his way, he says, out of this. The only one who can do it is me. In high school, I had a smooth ride. Now I'm hitting bumpy roads. I should find the answer within myself.
Well, there's nobody to hold his hand. It's just that I was saying earlier, the UConn guys have somebody that's been around or down the road.
Kind of that handoff within the program from Smith onto Kevin Ollie. Great.
Scotty Burrell going back that way.
Absolutely. Here's Rosmel Jones, one of the freshmen who gets to learn from guys like Sheffer and Allen. 2 freshman guards on the floor now for Jim Calhoun's team. Ricky Moore, 21. Rosmel Jones, number 3.
Nice play by DB, and he can elevate if he gets time. Come on back down.
Derek Brown for 2, and St. John's within 8. Hanging around a little bit.
Off their
Closer than I
D,
thought
right?
they would. Jones for Johnson.
There's a different air about this St. John's team. I'm just impressed in today's workout. I mean, Brian was totally immersed. Their reaction was exactly what you would think of a team that's got a terrific record. I mean, they're going well, obviously.
Connecticut a little bit out of their offense here. Moore with the clock down at 10 finds Hayward. Back it in.
He got 3, the big fella. He can't get those puppies up and down to get out of the 3-second lane.
Young group couldn't really find their flow offensively. Jim Calhoun's team out to a big early lead. They now lead by 8. St. John's has chipped away. The Connecticut lead is 8. Kirk King on the bench, 4 shy of the NCAA record for consecutive field goals made at 25, held by Ray Vocal, American University, 1978. It started in the Lapchick tournament against St. John's. He made 25 straight, Bill, over 9 games.
He had a very vocal coach, correct?
Gary Williams.
And they get the turnover. They just gnaw away at you with their press. And one thing that Jim Calhoun said to both of us today was they've gotten better in all areas. That's why he thinks it's a different team this year. Not one facet. He's very confident in their growth.
Brings Jerome Sheffer back in for Rosmel Jones, as St. John's had some trouble there, Bill, after they made substitutions with Tariq Turner and Fred Lyson in the backfield.
DB going to be the point guy now, and they've moved him from the shooting guard spot. This team scores on inbounds pass plays. They didn't get their down screen for the guard.
Lyson, the junior, 44, guards Sheffer in his final year of eligibility, 3rd season with the Huskies. Travis Knight, who can hit that shot.
That deep jumper, the big guy, has to come up. It opens up things inside.
The 7-footer averages 9 a game. The UConn lead is back to double digits, and a foul as Turner was just trying to get free. Tariq Turner, who came in with Lopez and Hamilton, banged by the freshman Ricky Moore.
And Mike, you've seen a lot of teams. Where would you put UConn? I mean, they got a legitimate shot, don't you think?
Right there with that team, Mass, and the team last night, Kentucky.
They may be playing the best. A couple of weeks ago, I thought it was Kansas playing the best. Well, they got a little small change on Moore, number 2.
Before the inbounds, too, and that's the 5th team foul on the Huskies. So did you see St. Seton Hall going by there in the final minute, beating Villanova at home?
Unbelievable. Now, Kittles, they said, was day-to-day. I'm not so sure whether he played or not or what kind of a contribution, but the Halls had some good wins. And the Miami game was a solid win. He's telling us now Kittles did play. Lyson can make those.
Fred Lyson, the junior out of Oceanside, who shoots 42% from 3. Back down to a 7-point game. Sheffer lost it on the way, but a foul called on the outside. 2 games tonight, 2 games tomorrow night on ESPN. It starts in the Big Ten at Iowa. The Kingsbury Range limitless. There's Kingsbury and the Hawkeyes take on struggling Illinois, and then what is always one of the most entertaining games of the year, Arkansas and Memphis. Great athletes. They play at the Pyramid tomorrow night.
For the right to get the best high school player in Memphis. Nolik is in there and steals a few. And this guy's been on some sort of roll.
King comes back in as Sheffer hits his first free throw. Jerome became the first Husky build to go over 1,000 points and 400 assists in 3 seasons.
433 assists right now, but the maturity he has, the international play, he's able to take a hit. It's contagious the way he plays, too. They all throw the good long pass now. It was only him a year or 2 ago. Good catch.
Zendon Hamilton.
Send it in. Hamilton.
I like that. He has 6 of the Red Storm 15, and the Husky lead is down to 7. Very impressed with the way St. John's took this first huge punch.
That's right. On the ropes, got themselves back up, and you could tell today, intellectually, they were ready.
They react well to Sheffer, but Rudy Johnson breaks free.
Loves to give it up.
First field goal for the senior. He has 4. The lead back up to 9.
Sheffer's not a guy that's going to shake and bake and lose you. You got to keep in front of you.
Ray Allen now on Mo Brown at the point. Felipe Lopez not out there for the Red Storm right now. Lyson as Grant cuts the freshman. Got too close. Knight, one hand in there. Johnson goes down to get it, and a foul called before the held ball. And it will be on the freshman, Tyrone Grant. With 2 freshmen on the St. John's team, which has won 3 of its last 4 and is playing its best basketball of the season.
They came into the year without the stability. And the Lapchick tournament, everybody in New York just persecuted this guy and this program. And they have gotten themselves off the deck, not only in this game, but the last 2 weeks. And that's really a tribute to the coaching staff as well as these kids. I mean, they have been put on their knees. But at least now, Bondi defensively, taking better shots. And he has hung very tough. And anybody who's been in that position, as you know I have, with my terrific record.
Travis Knight off the inbounds, and Bill, you mentioned before they can kill you on the inbounds. Barrett back on the other end with an answer.
What a great counter. Yeah, they're extremely well coached in that category.
Little up and down the floor. Allen the pump to draw his man, lost the handle. Lopez back in the game, gets it for the Red Storm, and a foul on Rudy Johnson. Again, you mentioned inbounding the ball, they are dangerous.
The toughest part in playing UConn is to prepare for so many things, including the inbounds pass. I mean, you've got to spend a lot of time in your practice. Look at the back screen, then the bump. So you got Allen in the corner for the jumper. Or if you don't switch, you got a free little send it in by Travis Knight. And he's no Pip.
Travis? I don't know if he can sing either. It's going to start. It could be a long night. UConn by 9. Just past halfway through the first half. Lopez off the screen. Didn't have the shot, but still made a nice pass inside for Grant. In the trees, couldn't get one up, and it goes to the Huskies.
And they all collapse and scrape.
So here comes Daron Sheffer, who this is a mismatch that UConn could exploit at some point tonight. They haven't chosen to yet.
They think Allen. There's a little break as it hits the glass, gives him an open look.
Sheffer three. Garone, second three of the night.
Jim Calhoun said he hasn't been playing as well. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong things as he did earlier in the year. Makes that shot.
He's averaging 16 a game. The lead back up to 12 for UConn very quickly. Sheffer now watching Lopez. Earlier it was Allen when the Huskies were man-to-man, but as we mentioned, so many switching defenses. Felipe trying to make something happen. Forced it inside. Went after the miss. Mo Brown finds Grant inside. So Ty Grant gets his first two.
They push so fast, put you back on your heels.
Garone again. Rimmed out, looking for a third three. Lopez pulls out for the Red Storm. Head of the field, Grant. Nearly the quick-handed steal, but just a touch and a foul.
Well, they say press a pressing team, maybe run against a running team. And that time defensively, UConn negligent, not seeing the ball at all, not identifying. And just within himself, Felipe making the look, giving it up. I mean, he's making sure the defense didn't all of a sudden turn on him. And this is just not good basketball by a terrific team. So they are ordinary in some respects.
But it's rare when they are. Here is Tyrone Grant. Top field goal shooter on this team at 67%. Missed there as he shoots 74% from the line. One of the things the St. John's coaches were impressed with was Grant's defense on Samaki Walker in the win over Louisville.
Nice scrape.
Lopez rebounds the miss on the glass. Menafield.
And he deserved it. He's the one that tipped it back out, kept it alive.
He went 0 for 7 from the field against the Cardinals. Finally gets one to go. And on the turnover, down 8, here come the Red Storm. Mo Brown, lob!
Mo, how did you know?
And Jim Calhoun wants a 20-second timeout. 20-second timeout for Jim Calhoun and the Huskies as the Red Storm are back within 6.
Ronnie Rutledge right there in your picture got up all excited. And this is a reach-back game. Tell me what you're made of, guys. And Mo, who's shown his ability to run a club the last couple of weeks with a great look. The rest, rather simple by Rowan.
Rowan Barrett has 6. Well, the football season finally comes to an end this weekend. The Hooters Hula Bowl. College starts featuring Brooke Behringer. How's the Nebraska quarterback going to do in the NFL draft? Marvin Harrison, the wide receiver from Syracuse. Corey Pullett, the quarterback from Texas A&M. The Hooters Hula Bowl, Sunday, 8 Eastern on ESPN.
I wonder what they'll be wearing along the sideline.
Chris Fowler gets that very difficult assignment.
Well, he needs the numbers.
Well, he needed the break from Digger. He couldn't take another week of Digger, to be honest with you.
From Digger to the Hooters.
Gary Miller and Digger in the studio join us at halftime. 7 minutes till then. This one may have gotten out of hand, but it's much closer now as Sheffer tries to break that zone with a 3. Rebound, Red Storm, but Mo Brown is on the baseline.
That's that 1-3-1 against Louisville that was successful, Mike.
Now the official timeout. The Red Storm, Mo Brown at the point, helping St. John's get back in it within 6. Gary, thank you. 13 is the win streak for the team 1 hour down the road from Amherst, Mass. The UConn Huskies, they lead by 6. And all of us send our best to Marcus Camby. Great look. Kirk King now has made Bill 22 consecutive field goals.
Creeping up on it. That was a great diagonal pass to the box. The extra pass from Knight to King. 1-3-1. Dangerous if you don't get your slides going.
Again, the freshman backcourt. Ricky Moore watches Mo Brown. Lopez on the freshman Jones, and overnight. Rebound Allen. Jones and Moore the backcourt. Allen, King, and Travis Knight up front for UConn.
And St. John's is doing a nice job taking good shots. That's very important. Early, they were a little rattled, forced a few.
Moore for King.
Get him out of there. Knight with the follow.
Knight the follow, but the King streak ends at 22. And these fans knew exactly what was going on. A standing ovation for Kirk King after his first miss in 23 tries. Much like a pitcher after his no-hitter's broken up late in the game. Hamilton missed. Allen and the Huskies run.
Good hustle by Lopez. Filled the lane.
3-on-3, Felipe. Send on Hamilton.
And how about Lopez sliding by so he didn't charge? Real heads-up play.
UConn lead is 8.
That was nice, wasn't it, by the folks here?
Extremely knowledgeable fans, and they follow every word on both the men's and women's team here at Connecticut.
Now, they can count New England.
They've been counting inches of snow the last couple of weeks. The great melt is underway. The freshman Moore tries 3. It's off the mark. And a hold on Lopez as he had a hog tie on Jones underneath. He is human. Kirk King finally misses after 22 consecutive makes.
The harbinger of bad tidings, Mike Tirico. I'll let you handle this miss.
Are you intimating that I'm more comfortable with missed shots than you? As King gets another standing ovation from the sellout crowd.
Well, they call him Sky. And this one, he banked one like this against Villanova. You just see the harsh reality. And Knight undeterred, though, and that's twice no bodies being checked out. Jones didn't get a body on him here as Lopez ended up on the outside. What a great thrill it had to be for him. Kept getting better each year.
Roshmel Jones, the freshman, hit his first. Jones and Moore, both freshmen, are so much more comfortable now than they were a month and a half ago. That's only natural, but tough for them to fit in on this team where you are expected to come in and play at such a high level.
And both of them the other night, Moore had 7 assists. Jones had 4. 5 steals for Moore, 3 steals for Jones. I mean, that's not a bad contribution.
Huskies back up to a 10-point lead. Rowan Barrett and Mo Brown break the pressure and set up St. John's half-court offense. Allen now watching the point guard Brown. The unrelated other backcourt Brown, Derek. Barrett for 3. He has not been able to get off the mark as he did against Louisville. Sheffer looks to push.
And Knight does run the floor. He's set up deep. Look at the kick out. Forget it. You run back to identify, and everybody collapses in the 3-second lane, and he just trailed the field.
The steal by Sheffer has Allen with him. Tried to go to Ricky Moore, but it was tipped away.
And incidentally, you know who's not here? Donald D. Rowe.
Coach
Former
Rowe.
coach and now involved in the development end of things here at Connecticut. He's a visiting professor up at Middlebury College. I'm sure that's for free, you know, and realizing his knowledge. But he's also big in hockey now. One of the few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Following the hockey program up there. What a great open shooter. But Lou Perkins said he won't be eligible to come to the Syracuse game, D-Rowe, because he didn't make the game before.
D-Rowe, one of the great, as the whistle and the foul called on Connecticut.
The big Eric Hayward, I think, on that screen down.
D, one of the most recognizable figures in the state. The former coach before Don Perno, and then after Perno, Jim Calhoun. Reminder on the deuce, little midnight action in the Big West. Utah State, Eric Franson, Big West Player of the Year last year, taking on Long Beach State. Midnight Eastern, that's 9 o'clock on the beach, on the deuce. Tomorrow night, college hoops.
And a nice chance for the Johnnies to get on the board with the clock stop. Hayward with the down screen.
They had whittled the lead down to 6, but it's back up to 13.
And they're going to let Mo Brown shoot. Is that the dialogue?
Question on who was fouled here, Mo Brown or Derek Brown.
See, these are the kind of officials I like. They'd say, who shoots better? You make your mind up. You know, years ago, they had the teams out on the floor. No coach. This I'm talking about the late 40s, early 50s. And Honey Russell, the old Seton Hall coach, they couldn't see the score. So the players asked the referee, you know, what's the score? Because they used to float, you know, rotate the numbers. And the guy looked at the board and he said to Richie Regan, we're ahead by 4. Those are the kind of officials I like.
Well, Derek Brown, the poorer of the 2 free throw shooters, still a 68%er. The lefty made them both. St. John's down 11.
And they go this little 1-3-1. Now the diagonal's there.
Ricky Moore finds Johnson, who gets it back to Moore. That's a pass UConn makes very well, too.
Now, they've worked hard against this. Got to make these.
Rudy Johnson misfires on the three. Red Storm Ty Grant all over the rebound.
Now, see, he's looking up the floor. You got Mo right behind you.
Then Hamilton got a step on Travis Knight. Travis got position and got the foul on Hamilton.
Now, I think Hamilton got whacked on the shot, and then, as is the tendency, you get a little aggressive after it. Nice cut right to the elbow.
It'll be 1-1 on the other end.
Now, check this now. I thought he got whacked pretty good. All arm. And there you go, getting the little nickel dimer, but a great cut.
Rutgers surviving, beating Pittsburgh by 1. So the new guard of the Big East on back-to-back nights, beating the old guard.
West Virginia and Syracuse. That surprised a lot of people, huh?
Got to get some points out of the backcourt. John Wallace, 33 last night. He's playing great. Needs some help. Syracuse is up here on Sunday.
He's trying to initiate the contact, sending very aggressive, and they get the little putback.
Tyrone Grant has 4. Red Storm withstanding another storm. Back within 9. Hayward in some trouble. Lost the ball.
Great hustle, though. Well,
and it will stay with UConn. They have the possession arrow. Eric Hayward, some hustle. Retains possession for the Connecticut, which led by as many as 14, saw the lead go down to 6. It's now 9. The Delta Faucet halftime report is coming up. Number 1 UMass without Marcus Camby in a close game. There was an upset in the conference tonight. And Shaq taking on Phoenix as Cotton Fitzsimmons makes his debut. Gary Miller, Digger Phelps have the Delta Faucet halftime report. Coming up, Bill, the early numbers. UConn's great shooting from the field continues.
And then St. John's able to hang around. I just think creating some damage with their defense. 1-3-1, got a few long jumpers, but they got to come up with the rebounds.
Ruslan Inyatkin, number 10. Top of your screen in the game for the Huskies, as Ray Allen works it outside with the shot clock down to 12.
He's dangerous without the ball, by the way. He's great. He's very mobile, getting free.
Oh. Inyatkin can't hit. Knight got the rebound. The St. John's bench livid. You see Brian Mahoney top of the screen.
Ray Allen got away with it.
Now working on Derek Brown, lost it out of bounds.
Pretty good self-control. Ray Allen lambasted it. I mentioned being good without the ball. Not too bad with it, huh? A little show and tell. And a great bailout there. Swipe by DB.
Rudy Johnson sets up Ray from the other side. Off the mark. Got up and got the deflection. Sheffer just settles everything down.
So when you are struggling just a little bit, you got to come up with that. St. John's has not been able to on a consistent basis.
Travis Knight hit that before, hit it again.
Zedden better get up on him.
Travis may be snapping out of his mini 4-game slump. He has 8 points. He had just 16 total in the last 4. And the lead's 11 again.
Shoots about 53%. That's what makes them difficult. The whole team's around 50. They hold you to under 40.
They've shot 58 their last 2 games from the field. 61 plus here tonight. Low Brown trap. Rudy Johnson the steal.
Next minute and 30, very critical for St. John's.
Sheffer cut. Knight found him. No travel, no foul. St. John's ball. The Huskies have had the better of the Red Storm of late, sweeping last year's games, winning by 20 here at the Hartford Civic Center, 17 at Madison Square Garden. Before this, a series that St. John's controlled. They've won 25 of the 36 prior meetings between the two teams.
You know who's watching in New York, a part of a lot of those wins? Louis. In the second, they got the deep one from DB. I think they got to milk just a little bit. Get some composure on that offensive end. Not the quick jack.
Here's Derone. Wide right. 4 red jerseys than white. Derek Brown to the cup, but couldn't finish, and back come the Huskies with the Candyman. Great pass tonight.
They all get out.
Travis has 10. The lead is 13. Mo Brown, the ball fake in 2.
Use that glass, Mo. A double kiss. They need to stop It's amazing how fast UConn can counter you, though.
You make it, they make you pay for it.
So many answers. So well organized as a team, disciplined.
Derek Brown outside, the foul on Ray Allen.
In watching different tapes, you look at Allen, he's just extraordinary. I mentioned before, they think Allen and they play their game. And that's the dilemma for Bryant. It's not just Allen, you got to play him. But all the others, Knight amongst them, knock you out.
Travis to the bench with 10 points. Ray also in double figures, averaging 23, has 12. I don't want to steal his line, but our guy Clark Kellogg would call Ray a stat sheet stuffer. But I have to say it a lot slower than Clark.
Clark's got a few of them. Yeah, you could be out of work if you don't watch yourself.
Ray has 14. The lead is 13. Shot clock is off.
He's an MVP in all categories.
Much better. Much easier. Much to my intelligence level.
The 1-4. Drive, draw, dish. And, of course, you got to contain at the point position if you're Moore.
Senior Mo Brown draws the contact, but picks up an offensive foul.
Well, lead him to water. And there is a little extra water in Eric Edwards. Oh, under control. That's the key element no matter what position you're playing. And Mo thought he had something very creative. And this team responds, though. Reed steps in. Guy's done it at Northeastern in here. Pretty good on that sideline. And right there, you think you got something. And look at the big fella. Just come to me, sweetheart.
It was the 10th foul on St. John, so Hayward gets 2.
I'm amazed at his field goal percentage shooting. Now, granted, he's not looking to score every time he touches it, but over 52. Number 2 in field goal percentage all time, 55%.
Takes 1 of 2 from the line. 4 seconds for the Red Storm to cut in to a 14-point UConn lead.
Got a chance.
Zendon had a little more time. A wild first half. St. John's fell behind by 14, got it to back within 6, but as you said, the last 2 minutes were key, and UConn dominated the last 2 minutes. At the break, the Huskies lead the Red Storm by 14. Now the Delta Faucet halftime report. Digger and Gary.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike and Bill. We'll get out to you shortly, but we got a lot to tell you about in the...
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Just for Men, the leader in men's hair coloring. Blends away gray in 5 minutes. And by Buick, makers of the 1996 Riviera. When was the last time you really had fun in a car?
Back in Hartford, Mike Tirico, Bill Raftery. St. John's trailed 16 too early, cut it to 6, but it's a 14-point lead as we get set to start the second half, Bill.
Oh, you can't afford to make many mistakes. This club, they're very unselfish. This is a great little play by Travis, the presence of mind. It's an inside-out 3. They make the court short for them. Drive baselines like an inside-out jumper, and they make it long for you. They space beautifully, go over the top, the old skip to the do, and knock down the road.
UConn shooting 58% from the field their last 2 games, 57% here in the first half. 13 assists on 16 made field goals. Now, granted, could be some home scoring, but still, when you have 13 assists on 16 made field goals, an impressive figure. Ray Allen leads all scores, 14 in the first half. Felipe Lopez triggers. St. John's the ball to start the second half. Next jump ball back to the Huskies.
Play within yourself early. St. John's has to think, try and get some inside back out, or at least dribble drives.
And get something for this guy. Lopez scoreless in the first half. Good start to the second.
Home run.
0 for 4 from the field in the first half. Hits the 3, and the lead is 11.
Too talented. I think he's frazzled a little by not playing well and being picked on in a sense.
Freshman Rashmal Jones, 3, starts the second half for Connecticut. Rudy Johnson starts the second half on the bench. And there is Jones.
Nice job on the stack. They ran a double for Allen, the single for Jones.
Travis Knight, who had 10 first-half points. Jones on Menafield. Menafield got there. Knight, physical, taken away.
Where did he come from? Travis stepping up, little macho man.
We pointed out Travis at the beginning, 16 points his last 4 games, 12 points here tonight.
Inexperience showed on that, too. You got to wrestle the ball away.
Zendon Hamilton and the foul.
He got away with it, huh? The old NBA clear out. Well, he deserves one. He got knocked a few times, didn't get to the line. And right here, this should be all Johnny's ball. Rip it down. And Travis showing a little weight room maneuver here. His folks were in, so they're back home now taking a look.
That's right.
And enjoying his play. He stepped up terrific, particularly shooting the ball in the first half.
Zendon Hamilton, 3 of 10 shooting in the first half, adds that field goal. Goes to the line to look for .11. He averages 19 on the season. See the scores go by. Scores at 10:30 and 50 after each hour every night during everything we do at ESPN. And, of course, the highlights come up after this second half on SportsCenter. Allen the rebound. UConn 11-point lead.
A couple of his buddies grabbed me at halftime and said his nickname is the Candy Man. I don't know if that means he delivers or he's got a sweet tooth or he's just sweet as a player. I think it's that, don't you?
Or after the pain. You know, you eat so much candy, you get a cavity, and that's pain, and that's all he is to the opponents, a pain.
Solid. Great talent.
If you weren't with us, Kirk King actually missed a field goal for the first time in 22 tries. Here's Johnson, dumped down to King. Shot clock, got to get it off quick. Did Knight beat the clock? Yes, he did.
He has been in the right spot.
Travis is 7 of 7 from the field, so Kirk King's streak ends.
Another one, nice dribble move.
Felipe for 2.
St. John's basket by Lopez.
Lopez 0 for 4 first half, 2 for 2 second half. The lead's 11. Aaron Sheffer hit 2 threes before.
And he knows that he can just elevate the arm and rest the elbow on Mo Brown's forehead. I mean, that another defender would not have been able to get, he wouldn't have been able to get that off on.
Sheffer has 11, 3 Connecticut players in double figures. The lead 14. Mo Brown's 5'9", Bill. Sheffer's 6'5".
I mentioned Allen being good with that tough shot here.
Barrett air ball. Hamilton was up for the rebound. Wasn't expecting it not to hit the iron. Here come the Huskies. And there is the Candyman. It's an offensive foul. Will the hoop count? The 3 officials discuss it. I think they're going to count the basket.
They're going to, yeah, let's keeping everybody happy. I like the wipeout. Get one guy mad at you. The heck, you're drawing a little check.
It's politically correct,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It fits the 90s.
It fits right in.
So Allen has now 16. That's exactly what the lead is.
And he's playing the shooting guard spot right now, which is where he's going to play for a few years, and we'll be able to see him. Nice 10, 12-year run.
Mo Brown, nice try. Couldn't finish. Knight the rebound for UConn, and here come the Huskies.
Great use of the floor. Look at this play. It wasn't Ray Allen, but Rudy can elevate too. Good look. Allen. Amazing how Sheffer has that ability. Bobby Hurley-like ability.
The long pass.
The long pass. And the other guys throw it beautifully now. He has made it part of the repertoire.
Darone's passing has rubbed off on Ray Allen, has rubbed off on the freshman. 6 players on this Connecticut team, 20 assists or more through 15 games.
That's tough. There's not any room there.
Lopez got trapped, but it was ticked by a Husky.
And Jim Calhoun up out of the box. He's begging. Extraordinary run. Amazing. Was it 204.97 here and 454 overall. First time I saw him was in the NCAA tournament with Northeastern. A guy by the name of Reggie Lewis. And they pressed and ran. A lot of the things he does now, he did well, but the talent's a lot better.
Shot clock was down to 1. Lopez was in trouble, but got fouled by Rudy Johnson. 2 on Rudy, 3 on Calhoun's team. 13 straight wins to start the season. Second best under Calhoun. There's Hamilton inside. Zendon has 12 now, Bill.
I don't know if you saw Sheffer, just a little nudge, and he was still able to catch and complete. UConn is an awfully enjoyable team to watch, though. I mean, everybody gets a touch, help one another. Now, Ray didn't create a passing lane there.
Bill King backs him minute field. He has 8.
He didn't have to. He stayed right at home. He's got to move when this guy turns.
16-point Connecticut lead. They have led throughout. Fans wanted the walk. None called. And Lopez moves on Johnson. Mo Brown was open, but Sheffer quickly recovers. Forces the reset with the shot clock at 15.
You can see the difference in the two teams. St. John's dribbles more. UConn passes it more. Moves themselves.
Rowan Barrett hasn't hit the mark. Mo Brown, no. Zendon knocks his own man out of the way, lost it, tried it again, and got fouled.
So you can respect his game, can't you? Getting in the middle of things and being very competitive on the glass, and didn't say anything in the first half when, in fact, I thought he should have got to the foul line a number of times. Just played very comfortable, cool.
UConn quickly, Bill, 14 fouls in the first 4:49 as you get a look at Zendon Hamilton, sophomore, 6'11" out of Floral Park, New York. Gets to the line a lot and converts as well. 79% free throw shooter.
The maturity of UConn, by the way, to finish that thought, enables them to kick to one another. They're very confident. When it breaks down for St. John's, Felipe likes to put it on the floor a little bit, Rowan a little bit, Mo a little bit. That sort of clogs things up.
Well, this team is looking for the right group to put it all together. They may have found it. There will be a lot of teams that struggle against this Connecticut team. So don't let this be your only measure of the Red Storm, who trail by 15. Been all Connecticut all the way. The Huskies lead by 15. Now, after scoring 32 against Louisville, Rowan Barrett may have been feeling it a little bit. They're going to have to start worrying about us. Daron Sheffer, I know, can't guard me. If we go in there the same way we came in Saturday against Louisville, full of confidence, playing together, we can beat anybody. Well, Sheffer's had the good offensive night. Barrett's been held to 6 points.
He's right, though. Daron's been playing Mo Brown. He can't play. Other than you mentioned earlier, Rudy picked him up, Johnson in the backcourt. But how about this backcourt right now for UConn?
Freshman, right? Ricky Moore and Rashmal Jones.
Now, this is the hidden freshman rule, I call it. Allen, with the maturity, can play small forward. And these guys can do some damage.
Drive by Moore, and he'll go to the line. Right now, let's go back into the studio. Here's Gary Miller.
Mike, Georgia Tech continues to roll in the ACC. Watch the D on Tim Duncan. Newberry picks it away, and they're breaking. Stephon Marbury's had a huge game. The freshman leading the pack on the road. 46-38 Tech, between 2 unbeatens in the ACC. Back to you.
Gary, thank you. Number 6 in some trouble there, Bill. As back here, Moore goes to the line, makes his first. The freshman will have one more.
Bobby Crimmins should just play ACC teams. Forget the Mount and the rest of the guys.
What were they, 5 and 6 or 6 and 5, something like that, out of conference. Unbeaten and winning at Wake. We'll keep you updated. SportsCenter, the highlights afterwards. 17-point lead here for Connecticut. There are those 2 freshman guards applying pressure.
Just to finish the thought, they can play comfortably as a little bit of offense stepping up here by Felipe.
Lopez, 3rd field goal of the half. He has 7. 15-point Husky lead. Off the ball, Tyrone Grant had Kirk King, but Kirk King is in there too long. 3 seconds.
The freshmen can play within themselves. They can be taken out. There's no real stress on their game. They got an All-American right alongside them, so valuable minutes. And this is for next year and for March, too. And you're playing those Thursday, Saturday, or Friday, Sundays in the NCAA.
See if St. John's can get back in it. Mo Brown used the bump. Lopez tried to use the Grant bump as well. NBA 3, Felipe. Rebound, Travis Knight.
That's one of those questionable. Relax, you can get that at the end of the shot clock.
Ricky Moore. Nice dump down by King to Travis Knight, who couldn't finish with Grant on his back. Felipe runs. Finds fellow sophomore Hamilton. Grant spinning on Knight. Got him on the defensive end. Got him in the air. Knight the block. Zendon tried to pull it away and got one on the arm.
I think it may have been Jones. Rashmel digging and scratching, but Travis Knight sneaks up on you. Second in career blocks, right? Just the presence. Gets one, gets his foot. He stands very upright, too. And even on this lean-in, able to avoid the body contact and swat it away a little bit.
Travis, 3 blocks tonight, 141 in his career. Danielle Marshall's the all-time block leader at Connecticut. Travis will get a break. Eric Hayward in the middle.
Dave Twardzik here, the GM of Golden State, he was talking about Danielle, said that he came in 20 pounds heavier, thinking it would help him in the NBA, and he lost his foot speed.
Grant tried to get a shot up, but before that, a foul call on the outside. And the fouls are piling up on Connecticut here. They have 6. The Red Storm just 1. NCAA women's basketball tomorrow night on the Deuce. Great game in the Southeastern Conference. Vanderbilt at Tennessee. Vandy unbeaten. Tennessee led by Michelle Marciniak. It's Friday night on the Deuce. Hamilton. And 1. He'll go to the line. Hayward can't believe it.
And they're going to score the goal, too.
Jim Calhoun can't believe it either.
No, he's not real happy with it. That bang, a 3-point play. Well, I'm getting nervous because today I could understand everything Jimmy Calhoun said. And you know the fast-paced, rapid delivery. But here taking the chug and Zendon hanging tough. As noted, took a lot of knocks, didn't get to the line in the first half. Sticking with it.
Connecticut with 13:27 left. 7 team fouls. Hamilton completes the conventional 3-point play, has 15 right on his average. Ricky Moore breaks the pressure. Lopez nearly had the rebound, now snatches it. Chance for the Red Storm here to get within 10 or 9.
What a ball fake.
Brown connects. Ryan Mahoney and his team right back in it.
And the 1-3-1, they got the dribble drive. Jim Calhoun with the timeout. Moore thought he had a good look. Unfortunately for Ricky, it turned into a nice open floor opportunity for St. John's. They've got to feel a little bit alone. The city has turned against St. John's. They have a cause, and they've stepped up the last couple of weeks. I mean, it's sticking together. I mean, it's a lonely feeling when you've got a rather large borough or two chopping at the bit.
Calhoun took his 22nd timeout to try to stem this Red Storm run.
And it's just an extraordinary athletic maneuver by double-breasted DB Derek Brown. The knockdown to boot. And they stick with the 1-3-1.
7-0 run, Bill, in the last 2.5 minutes, getting the Red Storm back within 10.
The lob to the box is what they've been effective. The far corner.
Allen 3. Sheffer for the rebound. Lopez kept it alive. Knight came away. Tee up Ray again. 0 for 2. Knight the follow.
And that's the problem with the 1-3-1. The weak side can't get back and seal off fast enough. And Knight at almost 7, able to knock that down.
Travis Knight, season high and career high is 18. He has 16. The lead is 12.
Putting them in the right spot. Calhoun's been doing that pretty effectively.
Zendon comes outside. Sheffer the rebound for the Huskies.
When things became unraveled, they put Sheffer in.
He missed 2. He won't miss 3.
Give an open look. He converts.
You could almost see he wanted that shot. He was so annoyed at himself for missing it twice.
One of the premier attitudes, too, as a player.
Derek Brown got a step on Allen, but Knight altered the shot. Grant inside.
Now, you usually say don't put it down in there, but he needed the power to elevate. Just a little quick bounce, get your legs, and go strong.
Husky lead is 13. Rudy Johnson will come in. Next dead ball.
It is a little small change. Grant and Hayward playing a little hand tag.
6'7", 225. Grant. Hayward, 6'7", 250. Freshman and senior. Big East battle in the paint. Official timeout inside of 12 minutes. Break on the Red Storm bench. 9 below his average right now, has 7 after a scoreless first half.
And there's a double screen on the inbounds. They always run something.
Allen uses the dribble and a foul on Derek Brown. You know, Bill, Lopez is an interesting story. He has to carry not just the pressure of being a star on this team, but also an entire community, the Dominican community in New York. So it's not just St. John's basketball, it's an entire community of pressure on some young shoulders.
It was almost a setup. Picture on Sports Illustrated, everybody expected him to be the savior, and they get a 3-second violation by Hayward. Well, when he's not hustling, it could take him 3 to get across or more.
Third of the night, second in as many minutes as Lopez gets a break. You know, there was a comment on local radio this morning. A guy who I respect a lot said St. John's comes into Connecticut with Felipe Lopez, Big East bust of the 90s. I just think it's unfair because as we have an offensive foul now on St. John's on Mike Minifield.
Yeah, you got to be ready, be square. The difference, though, the freshmen at UConn are infiltrated at the coach's leisure. It was stress at St. John's. He was ordained a star and a savior, and he could never be comfortable and find his niche. And I think it's frazzled him a little bit this year. Second half, much more comfortable. They get licensed on the foul right now. It just, your growth is stymied because you can't lean on somebody that's a player to tell you, just relax, things will work out. There's just not that maturing process available. And Brian, obviously, getting a great player like that, has to play him, has to give him his minutes, and hope that he learns on the job.
Here's Allen. Feel like I'm on a political campaign, a whistle-stop tour. Yet another whistle. Just to complete the thought on Lopez as we look at our quadruple header, Bill, coming up on Saturday here. Georgia, Tubby and company getting it done again tonight. Take on Tennessee, DePaul St. Louis in Conference USA. St. Louis got a victory tonight. That's the front end of the quadruple header. Texas Christian and Kentucky, and how good were they last night? And then Florida State at Duke. 4 games, ESPN on Saturday. You see the game at Cameron. Coach K's team taking on Pat Kennedy's Seminoles. Allen at the line gets 1 of 2. He now has 20. The lead is 14.
Now, you were talking about, just a thought, too, on defensively he's gotten better. Alabalbo, who, as we all know, the guru of man-to-man, just feels he's maturing, understanding an obligation at that end. And all of those things don't come easily when it's you that's supposed to function at a high level.
Tariq Turner, who came in with Lopez, missed. Minifield, the junior college center, puts it in for 2. Mike Minifield, 2 field goals tonight.
Nice play by Brown.
Derek Brown, the steal. Tariq Turner leads 4 red shirts. Fred Lyson couldn't handle. Off his leg, it goes to UConn.
And Rudy Johnson hustling back. Brian Mahoney thinks he fouled, but just a great effort, both ends. Derek Brown, and then the push. You think he got a fast break. Now, right here, I'm not so sure Tariq should have given it to him knowing the defender was there. Keep it alive until he really opens up. Maybe take it yourself.
Connecticut leads by 12 as we approach the halfway mark of the second half. Sheffer, long 3. Allen quickly on the rebound, quickly firing up another one.
I think Minifield on this one.
Yes, Mike Minifield, the junior, picks up over the back of Travis Knight.
Well, they do compete on the glass. Knight, King down there, that long rebound, the speed of Allen to run it down.
So 3 now on Minifield as Zendon Hamilton will come back in for Brian Mahoney's team. And Minifield will head to the bench. Hamilton's stats have continued to improve. Felipe's haven't, and some people are pointing to that as the point of concern. Jim Calhoun said, hey, find a lot of spaces on a lot of teams for a guy who averages 16.6 per game. That's what Lopez has coming in tonight.
He had nice things to say about Wallace. John up at Syracuse, he thought he was playing through. We got into Allen, got into Wallace. He also fed Zendon. Had stepped up magnificently.
That one equals a career high for Travis Knight, 18 points. He had 18 against Iowa earlier this year, the only Connecticut loss.
St. John's being pressed the whole length of the floor. A lot of bodies up here, and it causes the timeout. Very alert by Lyson, but a nice pull of the switch by Calhoun and company.
And Brian Mahoney switches it to a 20-second timeout instead of the full. So after what happened tonight in New Jersey in the Big East, the Big East standings have changed. There you get a look at them. Bill, I want to name these divisions. I don't like Big East 6, Big East 7. I want to name this.
How about Gavin?
The Carnesecca division for this one, because St. John's is there. Nobody would complain with Louis' name. Connecticut can go up 2 in this division. Now, I don't want to insult you. I was thinking about the Raft division for the Big East 7, but I'd call this one the Gavin because of Providence.
Let him sneak in there. Dave's great idea has turned into one of the incredible forces in college basketball.
Boy, the middle of that division, Pitt, Seton Hall, who's going to shake out of that group? The great win for Rutgers tonight at home.
And Bobby Wenzel, I'm sure, delighted, not the win, but just to be competitive in this league. He's been wanting to get in it for a number of years. He and Freddie Gruninger.
You see Cincinnati the win. Cincinnati, Mass, Penn State, the only 3 unbeaten. Penn State plays Michigan Sunday. Derek Brown off the screen with Sheffer on his hip, and Derone will get the foul.
And that was just an intelligent play by Derek Brown, the hang to get the hit. I mean, he knew he was going to get to the foul line with that little play, but a nice screen down, and this is good basketball. He pops out, and Mo Brown, so confident now. It's enabled this to be a better basketball team. Doesn't get it to go, but gets to the line.
Derone will take a seat on the bench as both teams over the limit. Connecticut has been for a few minutes. Double bonus comes up with 2 more fouls. And 1 more at the line for Derek Brown, the senior out of Elmont, New York. Set out last year, medical redshirt. He had 11 points per game as a sophomore. Taking a little while to find his role on this team, but with Mo Brown starting at point guard, Derek Brown off the bench has been effective.
They can play the point for him or play the 2. But Lysa was out last year. Everybody stays at home. No help.
For King, second missed shot of the night.
See, that's what's made the defense better. Granter Minifield can play the guy. You don't have to double. Hamilton could stay at home and get that weak side rebound.
Great feed by Mo Brown. Derek Brown trapped. Hamilton, he will go to the line. So St. John's more physical, forcing it inside, getting to the line more this half. We mentioned it before, Friday night on the Deuce. Women's college basketball. Vanderbilt in Tennessee is part of our great college rivalry series that's touched on so many sports. Battle of Tennessee, Vandy at Knoxville for this one. 7:30 Eastern. Every Friday night, women's basketball on ESPN2 and ESPN, home of the women's tournament, the Final Four in Charlotte, the Queen City.
I got a bang out of watching Robin and Mimi Griffin, Robin Roberts, do the game on Monday. It was Georgia, and Connecticut's very good too, but Georgia, extraordinary. The things these young ladies can do on the basketball floor.
Claudia Roundtree had an unbelievable game for the Lady Bulldogs.
And I go back where they had 3 on one end, 3 on the other.
Jones inside, challenged by Hamilton, fouled by Zendon Hamilton. So St. John's within 11, feeling a little more confidence, and this maybe is the big thing. This team 2 weeks ago may not have been able to withstand the UConn run.
And countering Brian's guys defensively, good clubs, get it in deep. This is just a nice screen, gets the guard to the box, and you're not used to defending a guard down there. He's able, Jones this time, to get to the line.
Ashmel Jones will get 1 more, 59% free throw shooter as Hamilton picked up his 3rd. Coming off his best assist steal game against Providence. 4 gives, 3 takes. Takes away nothing from the line there, and the Red Storm keep hanging around, can get it to single digits. Need a smart trip. Long 3 from Barrett. That one the rebound.
That's twice. You know, if it goes in, great, but you've been playing solid. Another good look opens up because of it. Long rebound. They go right at you.
Sheffer 4 of 9 shooting 3. The Connecticut lead is 14 as we're inside of 9 minutes.
Hayward's going to get a foul if he's not careful. He's been banging Hamilton.
Mo Brown and Sheffer bump. Ty Grant, nice spin. And a foul.
You notice that? They had to break it up there.
Some words and glares exchanged there. Let's head back to the studio and Gary Miller.
Mike, back and forth. Georgia Tech is led by as many as 8 at Wake Forest. Wake hanging in there on their home floor. Both these teams unbeaten in the ACC. Tony Rutland pulls up to try and tie it. Won't go, but getting the offensive board, Jerry Braswell. That tied it at 49. They're now taking a 3-point lead. Less than 3.5 left. Back to you.
Great one in Winston-Salem, and Gary will keep you updated with Digger back in the studio. And full highlights on SportsCenter after the game. That was Connecticut's 10th team foul, so 2 shots after every foul the rest of the way for the Red Storm.
And they have been successful with that 1-3-1. At some point, when you go that 1-3-1, this Connecticut club opens up, they spread, they got the threes, they got the diagonal look. So Brian leading, saving, which is not a bad move. Man-to-man has been successful staying at home.
Hamilton on his average has 19. The lead is 12. St. John's needs some defensive stops if they want to make the last 8 minutes of this game mean something. Sheffer around the world.
And that's an option. He goes either way. They're setting up Allen off a double on the other side. If you don't pay attention, he's so wise.
Derone on his average of 16. 14 the lead. Lopez tries to get on track.
Steps.
Tough shot, but he traveled before. You got it. Lopez held in check. 7 points. The average is 16. So the Huskies up 14 with the ball.
Stacked look, pop out Allen, or uses the double. He's got a choice. Here's the pop.
St. John's reacts well. Ray creates space. Jones the 3.
Playmaker. Allen gets about 4 assists a game just to stuff those numbers.
I'm not going to repeat Clark's line. I went 1 for 1. I'll back off. Brian Mahoney wants a timeout. 17-point lead now. If there's any chance of St. John's pulling off an upset, they've got to dig in here. Derone, Sheffer, and Ray Allen. The UConn backcourt, 36 of the Huskies' 74 tonight. UConn looking to go 15-1. 7.5 till SportsCenter. 17-point Husky lead. Our Buick storyline tonight in Hartford. St. John's able to get second opportunities. Sendon Hamilton, a big part of that. But Connecticut, 3rd straight game, shooting near 57% from the field. Travis Knight equaling a career high of 18 points, snapping out of a slump.
And Hamilton's got to get touches, Mike. Both of us were chatting during the commercial. Get him involved. I think he can get himself to the foul line. Don't settle for that deep jumper.
Mo Brown has gone most of the way at the point for the Red Storm. Lopez has 7, 9 off his average. Backs in the freshman Jones. Hamilton hits again.
Becoming a terrific force, and they don't get back quick enough.
Here is Allen, quick trigger. Hayward momentarily had it. Grant came away with it for the Red Storm.
Good charge, yep.
Offensive foul on Rowan Barrett.
The wise one. The elder. Plays old. Derone Sheffer. I mean, he read that before the ball was put on the floor.
See the Connecticut backcourt, Sheffer and Allen, along with the kids off the bench. Jones and Moore have added 7 to Sheffer and Allen. In some ways misleading because Allen hasn't always been at the guard spot. When they bring in the young kids, they move around.
Unfair stat, huh? Is that what you're saying? Plays that small forward spot? He'll be playing the big guard, though. Nice little curl. This is a tough play to defend him on.
This is one team that it's very tough to come back on. They have so many ball handlers.
And they're so good in so many facets of the game as well. They can jar you, force you to take tough shots.
Sheffer fouled by Mo Brown. They haven't needed to take great advantage of the size disparity between the two. But in subtle places, it's been a factor tonight.
When needed. That was almost like a post up there as he got him down the lane. Walt Frazier was very good at that kind of play. There's Mo and Ronnie. Hasn't been the easiest of times, and yet they've maintained their dignity.
Ryan Mahoney, Ron Rutledge, his assistant. Brian, of course, played basketball at Manhattan, coached at Manhattan, and came back with Louis.
I happened to win the Haggerty Award for Brian Mahoney.
How's that?
They got 38 against us his senior year. Look at this guy play. Good hustle by Hamilton.
And a foul as Hamilton tried the second time. St. John's player, hard to catch his number, doubled over in Minifield momentarily, or Grant, but he gets right back.
And it was Grant, and he's okay, by the way, Mike. You had mentioned it was him.
Tyrone Grant just took a shot in a sensitive area.
And Garrish was hurt, too. I mean, that's a part of Sweet Lou's. He'll be getting a new hairdo if he doesn't start winning that Big Ten. It's been a struggle. They had a great early season. Beat Missouri in that state's battle.
Zendon Hamilton has 24. 11th double-double of the season is just a rebound away. The lead is 15.
And this is not a bad time to do the 1-3-1. Mo in the back, not a rebounding factor, but the foot speed.
Allen misfires from the corner. Hey.
Pardon me.
At 5'9", Mo Brown gets it for Derek Brown to Lopez.
Good teamwork.
Lead is 13 with just inside of 6 minutes left. A little pressure by Derek Brown, backcourt.
Oh, he said it was slap. Can't argue with it.
Travis Knight, quick trigger and hits. Travis Knight, career-high 20 for the 7-foot senior out of Sandy, Utah.
And that's part of what you just said, the weapons. There are so many of them that can step up and bite you.
Lead back up to 15. We all saw the ball bounce on the other side of the midcourt line.
And this is, well, backed out, but that particular play, they switched automatically. And Lopez should have taken advantage and faded. Should have gone to the goal on Sheffer.
King backing in Grant. Help on the weak side by Hamilton and out of bounds. It will stay with the Huskies. Keeping an eye on that terrific game down in Winston-Salem. Wake down early, battled back, has been able to maintain a couple of point lead, and Gary will keep us updated on that. Travis continues to expand on his career best.
Now, Sheffer, you never think of him as a blow-by guy, but he gets there, and as the defense looks, he reads and dumps in a gorgeous fashion.
Derek Brown tries to answer on the other end. Zendon Hamilton blocked inside. Here come the Huskies 3-on-2. Sheffer calling for it at the arc. 3. And over the back.
And that's how unselfish Ray Allen is, too. That he could have crossed over and come baseline to an empty side, saw his partner set up, and Daron upset that he couldn't knock it down.
There are Daron's numbers. You mentioned, Bill, he doesn't blow by guys with the speed, but he's a half and everything better. Half a step quicker. His hand gets there a half a second quicker on the steals. Just does everything a little quicker.
It's all because of a butcher. Waterbury Butcher's the guy that got him to come here.
Right.
Frankel, right?
Waterbury, Connecticut.
He's a sports writer now.
Yes.
Everybody's got a title.
Grant inside is fouled by Eric Hayward, who came in to give Travis Knight a bench. Seat Travis, 22 points, his career high, 12 boards and 4 blocked shots. As we mentioned right off the top of the game, Travis was struggling, just 16 points in his last 4 games. And the team wasn't struggling when a 7-footer who scores about 10 points a game wasn't doing it.
But what he did was defensively bottle things up. He blocked some shots in the Villanova game at the end of the 2-2-1 press. He's the last line of resistance. They channel things to him. So even if he didn't score, he was a factor. Also his kick-out passes. And yet tonight, extraordinary. He's getting the looks, knocking them down, convert. Good deep shooter. And in the notes, 0 for 0 from 3. I mean, he doesn't... Yeah, he can make that, too.
He was very close a couple of times in the first half. He was about 18 feet away. 15-point lead, approaching 4 minutes left. Connecticut has been in control most of the way.
And they're looking for a double tick.
And it will be St. John's ball. Jim Calhoun politely requesting a consultation that didn't come.
How did you like the penetration by Moore? Is that what they call consultations now? Everybody's got a different way of looking at it.
A polite way. Grant inside. The fans have seen a couple of 3-second calls on Connecticut. They want one on St. John's, but Lopez gets to the line.
A character game thus far for St. John's, though. I mean, if you were wondering how they were going to react, they have just been extraordinary the last couple of weeks, and it's a tribute to Bryant. Mo's got him, and he's just got into it today. I mean, it's just like, hey, I'm the coach. I'm going to do the best I can, despite controversy looming.
It's a team of very quiet players, and that's not a knock at anyone. They're just not demonstrative kids, and they are trying to round themselves into some sort of a character, and maybe they're finding it a little bit. A game like this helps. The Louisville game was the first time they seemed to have fun this year. Lopez hits 2. He now has 11. 13-point Connecticut lead. Final 3:48 when you come back. Pushed it home by Georgia Tech. ACC and the Big East, very solid conferences with great stars like Ray Allen. I'm going to do it, Bill. Another stat sheet stuffing performance.
MVP stats. All categories, all boxes. Fill it up. 1-3-1, the ambush, Louis used to call this. Trying to rush UConn into a hurry.
Essentially 3 guards with Allen, Sheffer with the ball, and 21 more out there to handle.
And look at the cross court. He just stretches that D. That's impossible to get there with the foot speed.
23 for Ray. His average is 23.1. UConn by 16. The Huskies on their way to 7-0 in the conference, 15-1 overall. Lopez misses the 3. Travis Knight another rebound.
So if I just get it inside a little bit, play within it, and I think he tries to rush. I think that's because he was so good, got away with some things in high school that you can't carry into college all the time. You know, look, try, maybe a quick bounce, nothing, kick, go get somebody, you screen, you usually get free.
Sheffer swings free. UConn milking some time. Turnover, Tariq Turner.
Now see that pass? That should have been a lob to the basket. You run under it. Instead, Tariq throws a chest pass out of the lane. They're fortunate to get the goal.
Wonderful layup by Derek Brown, who has 9. The lead is 14. Sports Center follows in 2:25. Is down Interstate 84.
And here's that flex look that we were explaining today. Asked Jimmy what exactly he called it. A little bit like Iowa and Maryland, but not quite.
Sheffer creates space. Allen another 3. Ray Allen, 26 points tonight.
Allen's a showstopper. Sheffer's a head turner.
Felipe missed the dunk. Turner the rebound. Teeing up the freshman Grant, who was trapped in the air. Turner finds Minifield inside. He can't get it to go. Travis Knight the rebound. Travis Knight 22, Ray Allen 26, Daron Sheffer 18. They've been the story for Connecticut. 66 of the Husky 86 for that trio.
Some guys it comes easier.
Ricky Moore and Tariq Turner just running some clock. Shot clock gets down to 10.
He's got that arm out. He knows.
The freshman Moore misses. The tip by King. He's missed 3 field goals in the second half. What's happened to him? Lopez, a blocking foul on the youngster Moore.
Now we said the showstopper Allen, and his numbers have just been magnificent. But right here, everybody turns their head, draws the D, and he knows he's a counter. Jacques Vaughn can count to 9 pretty good. Sheffer as well. Great luck and a terrific night. They are an enjoyable team for spectators to watch.
Oh, aren't they? Ray Allen done with 26, including some of those 10 threes. Daron Sheffer also sits down with 18. Ray 5 of 9 shooting those threes tonight. And Travis Knight, career night, 22 points. A much-deserved hand for the trio that carried this team this night.
Jimmy said today, Sheffer didn't play as well recently. Knight didn't play as well. But he got the response he wanted this evening.
Felipe at the line. Cuts it to 15 here in the final minute. Just to finish a thought I started earlier on Lopez. We talk about him being a bust, the Big East bust of the 90s. I heard him called this morning. Hey, we created the kid being a superstar. Immediately, we put him on highlights on ESPN, built him up as the next coming. Sports Illustrated put him on the cover. The New York radio shows and tabloids built the kid up. It's not his fault.
Well, they wanted it for him, and then when he couldn't do it, everybody was disappointed. But this whole effort tonight, it tells you that they're willing to get down to work, expend the effort, and they're going to win some more games in this conference. Who knows? You never. They get, particularly with Zendon. I mean, this is one of those games where, hey, fellas, we got a pretty good player down in the box. If we can initiate some touches with him, now he's not big on assists, as you know, less than 1 a game, but that's not his focus. If he doesn't have it, we'll get him to give it back to people.
This player continues to create the high billing he gets. Ray Allen. Enter Kleber at the line. Nearly got that free throw to go. Another freshman on this Connecticut team. 6'10". Seen very little time.
Yeah, he'll come along just like King did. Contribute at some point. Keep improving.
The lefty born in Guyana. 3 misfires for Derek Brown. SportsCenter's coming up, so don't go away. It's been a great night. You saw Wake Forest win. Catch the highlights in a minute. Here's Kleber inside.
Ran the floor beautifully. And not a bad try by Moore. Ricky found him. Wasn't the prettiest of plays, but effective.
So Connecticut on its way to 15-1, 7-0 in the conference. They play Syracuse here on Sunday. Lopez inside. Gets it to go and will go to the line. Lopez and the Red Storm have not given up.
How about Howie Dickerman today during the drills? How highly regarded assistant, putting a little humor. He denied King the ball and then dove on the floor after it. Well, winning brings out a lot of personality.
Steve Levy, Keith Overman standing by for SportsCenter, including the highlights of a 15-point Connecticut win. The Huskies controlled it right throughout. Had a 14-point lead at the half. Ray Allen 26. Travis Knight a career-high 22. St. John's 1-4 in the conference. Now for Digger Phelps, Gary Miller in the studio with Bill Raftery and our ESPN crew, Mike Tirico. Good night from Connecticut. Here's SportsCenter.
The only unbeaten Big East Conference team, though.
Sports, and there you see Bob Picozzi live from the Civic Center. Bob, I wouldn't really call this a barn burner tonight.
Well, no, Ann, but you kind of like these mixed in. Can you remember how far back it was Thanksgiving, Ann?
Yes, I can.
Well, UConn hasn't lost a game since the night after Thanksgiving. That was a long time ago. It was 14 games ago. And the 5th-ranked Huskies jumped on St. John's early tonight, took an early lead, took a big lead. St. John's eventually cut it to 6, but no closer. And the Huskies went on to win it by 15. Let's take a look at the highlights from tonight's game. And let's begin with this basket by Kirk King off the feed from Ray Allen. Kirk made his first 3 shots tonight. That made it 11 to UConn. When King misses here, his streak of hitting 22 straight shots ended. That's 3 shy of an NCAA record. Ray Allen for 3, 38-25 Huskies. He scored 26. Let's move on to the second half. After a 7-0 St. John's run, Travis Knight with the putback, 60-48 Huskies. Then Daron Sheffer for 3 here to make it 69-55 UConn. Sheffer scored 18. But the big story was Knight. He had a career-high 22. This jam makes it 80-63. UConn wins 88-73 for its 14th straight win. The Huskies are now 15-1 and 7-0 in the Big East. And joining us live here at the Civic Center is UConn guard Daron Sheffer. And Daron, Thanksgiving really was quite a long time ago. It's probably difficult for you to remember that Iowa game, the last game you lost.
Yes, it was a long time, and we had a great time since then, and we sure hope to continue the streak.
You've not only won 14 in a row, but you've come out and you've played well virtually every night, with the possible exception of the first half against Miami. This team really hasn't played a bad half in that streak.
That's true, and we are, and I believe that we are continuing to get better, and we still can fulfill our potential and be a better team. And the important thing is to be in our best shape that we can be at the end of the season.
The transition game was going again tonight, and in the last couple of games particularly, it's not only been you running that transition game, but your backcourt sidekick has been doing a lot of the assisting himself, Ray Allen.
Yeah, no doubt. And I told him a couple times this year, he just started to pass the ball very well, and he just showed that he's a complete player.
2 games ago against Villanova, Travis Knight did not score. He didn't have a real strong game offensively against Providence the other night. He came out tonight with a career-high 22, and I'm sure you're delighted to see him back in the mix.
Yeah, I'm very happy, like everybody are, because we need him, and we need him in a good shape in order to succeed in the future. And he deserves to have a good game, and I hope he will have more good games in the future.
Okay, Daron, thanks very much for joining us. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
That's UConn guard Daron Sheffer. He scored 18 tonight in UConn's 88-73 win over St. John's.
UConn on the break coming up, and Travis with the finish. He had 14 boards tonight. Daron Sheffer added in 18 points. UConn won the game 83-73 tonight.